it is 6:16 and time now for What's Trending. Well, in April, a Massachusetts family took home what they thought was a lost dog, later realizing it was actually a coyote pup. They called a wildlife center for help, and the center said the young male was separated from its family. Health officials helped determine the coyote did not pose a risk of rabies exposure. That's a good thing, because coyotes are a rabies vector species, and if any of the family members had been bitten, scratched, or had extended contact with the pup, it would have been euthanized and tested. It is recovering in isolation, but will soon be joined by a foster sibling. The pups will be raised together and given a chance to grow and learn natural behaviors in large outdoor caging. You know, looking at that first, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It does look like a dog a little bit, I will say, but granted, it does have some coyote features with the ears, the eyes. Granted, I've seen more adult. When I've seen coyotes, they were more the adult. Yeah. Because they do have a little more slanted eyes. So I can understand, granted, it's still a wild animal, Devin.
Yeah, I mean, still a wild animal, and obviously you want to be careful with that too. I know it's challenging though, because obviously humans are known to kind of want to help animals out, but obviously, like coyotes in this situation, wolves probably too. You
certain animals, just let them be.
Leave them be for sure. And if you see something, you're concerned about something, obviously call the professionals too, and they'll definitely help get you to the right direction. Thankfully, this pup will be okay and will be able to live its life in the wild, so they were able to take care of that in time.
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely happy to hear that. It was a good ending to the story. Good thing nobody in the family got hurt by the coyote. But,
for sure.
I can definitely understand, though, in the end that, you know, it a little bit looks like a dog, but there's still many coyote
it's just so challenging. If in doubt, call the professionals. They can definitely help you out there, and they'll be moving in the right direction. But at least, thankfully, this one, obviously, it didn't have to be euthanized. So
yeah, for sure, that's good.
We're thankful for that. This animal will be able to live on. But otherwise, though, the Strong Museum of Play announces this year's winners of the Video Game Hall of Fame. Miss Pac-Man gobbled up the competition. I like the pun there. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina, how do you say that again, Kevin? Ocarina, thank you. Of Time completed the adventure, and Dance Dance Revolution hit the beat, and Sid Meier's Civilization made history. These four iconic games emerged from a field of finalists that also included Assassin's Creed, Candy Crush Saga, I know my mother plays that game, Minesweeper, NBA Jam, Parappa, the rapper, Parappa, thank you, Resident Evil Rogue, and Words with Friends. The Strong Museum of Play in Rochester, New York is home to International Center for the History of Electronic Games, National Toy Hall of Fame, and World Video Game Hall of Fame. And boy, do they give some of these names some weird titles, too.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely liked a few of those games. I like Pac-Man. That was always a classic. I know my mom really loves Pac-Man.
That's a classic. I know when I first played Pac-Man, I didn't realize it was a Miss Pac-Man either. I don't know how the origination of the two games kind of came about either. I don't know if it was Pac-Man then Miss Pac-Man, or
I think it was Pac-Man then Miss Pac-Man, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I could never get past the level 3. I always struggled with that. I know my mom was really good. She could get to like level 8 or 9 when she played a few times, but I was never very good. I always kept getting eaten by those creatures. Blobs.
We'll call them blobs.
I always kept getting eaten by those pretty quickly. But Dance Dance Revolution, did you ever go play that in arcades at all?
Is it bad to say I hadn't heard of that till now?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it.
There was some games I have seen as a child.
I'm sure you've seen it, and you probably would know if you've seen a video of it being used.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm sure many of us can relate to, where you need to see it to kind of be like, oh yeah, I know this, versus kind of the name, right? Because some of these names, you're like, huh?
Yeah, for sure. But you know, it's cool to see those games getting the recognition, because those are definitely classics.
Oh yeah, classic games. And you know, there are some of those games that can stand the test of time, and I think Pac-Man's definitely one of those, because I think it's still popular to this day, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'll go in arcades and I'll still play it from time to time.
Right.
Even though I won't do very well. But another thing, moving to our last story now, it's nearly time for the Run of the Roses. The Kentucky Derby is this Saturday. It's the 148th Kentucky Derby, a sport tradition that began back in 1875. The race at Churchill Downs in Louisville is the first contest in the horse racing's coveted Triple Crown, which includes the Preakness Stakes and the Belmont Stakes. And fun fact, a writer coined the phrase Run for the Roses in 1925 because of the garland of 554 red roses draped over the winner. The race is also known as the greatest 2 minutes in sports because of its approximate run time, and the race is scheduled to start at 5:57 Central Time right here on NBC, with pre-race ceremonies on NBC beginning at 1:30 p.m. and I think
That's
there's also
it's such an exact time.
Yeah, well, it's 2 minutes. People want to see. A lot of people tune in for those 2 minutes only. I know I'm one of them because it's definitely a lot of fun. I love the Kentucky Derby. It's great.
And props to NBC too, because they're able to have this much coverage, start at 1:30 all the way till the end of the event, and it's just really cool. And there's a lot of good things with the Kentucky Derby. I wish we had more time, but obviously the horses, everyone going there.
We'll have a recap on Monday for you as well on the race results.
And for sure, and obviously all the fashion. There's a lot of fashion that goes on in
all
the
hats.
All the hats, a lot of many different hats. But